Hi, Rich Dumpstorff here today with Peavey Electronics here at Full Compass to show you the new generation of ValveKing guitar amps. The ValveKing's been around with Peavey for many, many years, but the new model actually has a lot of really cool new features and some things that are very surprising that you're going to find on the back of the amplifier when I get there. Sharing what it did with the old series, it's still a two-channel amplifier. You have a clean channel here, dirty channel of course, and you've got a couple of cool features on the end of the strip we'll talk about in a second as well. In the new ValveKing series there are 4 models. There are 2 EL84 20-watt models, the EL84 20-watt combo we have here today, and the 20-watt mini head. Both are available here at Full Compass. We also have a 50-watt 6L6 combo, single 12, and a 100-watt head 6L6, also available here at Full Compass. Also look for cabs, a 412 and a single 12 extension cabinet available here at Full Compass. So on the amplifier, let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the front panel here. You have 2 channels, a clean and a dirty. On the clean channel, you've got a bright switch. If you've got a dark sounding humbucker, you can engage that to get a little bit of high end in your sound. We get into the dirty channel. Very unique to this amplifier is a gain switch. Now the gain switch on this amp will take the amp from a classic sounding gain to a very overdriven gain, sort of like a Peavey 6505 sound. And on top of that, you still get a clean boost. So no matter what your gain preference, you still get a clean boost to boost your leads up over the band. Continuing down the strip, you'll see just basic bass, mid, treble controls. There's a digital reverb in this amp, which sounds really, really good, very lush reverb. And then these last 2 knobs, damping and vari-class. Let's talk about damping first. If you're familiar with the 6505 series, something that Peavey invented going all the way back to the 5150 series, the resonance control, resonance and presence are on a 6505, and resonance is to low end as presence is to high end. And that's essentially what this damping knob does. It rolls in the amount of low end that you want in your cabinet. Now in this open back single 12 cabinet, I personally like it all the way to the right. Give me all of the bass in my open back cabinet. But when I plug in an extension cabinet or I use a 112 extension cabinet with the open back, sometimes I like to back that off a little bit. But it gives you the ability to dial in whatever sound you're looking for. Again, a very, very unique control that we have in this amplifier. It actually did come from the old ValveKing series, but the old ValveKing series called it Texture. We've relabeled that knob vari-class, and it is a trademark at Peavey. Vari-class allows you to take the amplifier from Class A to Class AB operation. So in the old days, Class A amplifiers are how we first heard of tube amps. You applied full voltage to the tubes at all times. In later years, more modern amp designs in Class AB, there's a push-pull that's going on with the tubes. So just for microseconds at a time, the voltage is being taken off, and it's almost like pistons in a car. But it is the more modern way of making amplifiers. You're able to vary that class of amplifier that you like to have in your amp. When it's on Class A, we actually shut off one of the power amp tubes and shoot full voltage to the other tube. So that's how we get Class A. And Class AB, of course, is just the standard push-pull. And also on the front, you'll notice that there's a couple of green lights. T1, T2 stands for Tube 1, Tube 2. And that basically means it's a tube life monitor. When you see a green light glowing, you know that your tubes, your power amp tubes, are good. When I put the amp into standby, you'll see they go red because the tubes are not in use. When you start seeing flickers of red when you're playing, you know that your tubes are getting ready to go. It's a good time to replace them. Where the amplifier really earns its money, though, is on the back panel. So I'd like to show you some of the features on the back of this amplifier that really make it customizable to any need you could possibly have for recording or for live use. So starting here, we have variable wattage. This amplifier is variable from 20 watts down to 5 watts down to 1 watt. You don't need to shut the amplifier off to change wattage. You can do it on the fly if you'd like. We've got an impedance selector here if you'd like to put an extension cab on here, like a 112 cab or a 412 cab. You could do that if you'd like, as long as you match your impedance. What's really cool though is Peavey's MSDI circuit, the microphone simulated direct interface. This microphone simulated direct interface mimics the sound of a mic'd cabinet. Okay? So you can get that out of an XLR cable, or you can actually get it out of USB. So if you'd like to plug into your board for live use or for recording, or plug straight into your digital audio workstation via this USB port, you can do it. And the next feature that's really, really unique to Peavey is that we've got a speaker defeat. So right now the speaker is enabled, but if I want to record a real tube amp at midnight, I can defeat the speaker. Now normally a tube amp you can't do that. Normally you have to have a load box. A load box would send a signal to a box that's going to turn into a line level signal and then send the XLR to your board. We've actually built it into the amplifier here. All the features I showed you in the front are completely foot switchable, so you can foot switch the reverb, the effects loop on off, the channel, and the clean boost. It also has a ground lift back here for any ground issues you may run into. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about the ValveKing series from Peavey, go to fullcompass.com or contact your sales representative at Full Compass today. Thanks.